Look, it's the Black Holocaust. I knew it was prophecy. 1,000 times worse than the Jewish atrocities. Uneven playing field, there'll never be a fair score. Cause in 1619, that's when they declared war. We the 12 tribes, the ones that the promise reaches. My Negro.
What we supposed to do? We supposed to come out here, what, to the highways and byways and what? What? Seek out the lost sheep of the house of Israel, right? That's all you so-called Negroes, Latinos, and natives, right, who were told you were nothing, right? You learn about your history, all you know is slavery, right? Your kids grow up, all they know is slavery is perpetuated. It's the same thing. But what happened? The Most High put the Spirit on us to wake up to know that we're the greatest nation on the face of the planet. That's right, brother. The house of Israel, man. Ain't no other nation greater than us, man. So that's what we're doing, trying to preach to the valley of the dry bones, man. Matter of fact, get that from me, King. Yeah, straight at 9, King.
Yeah. I mean, look, if he makes it one day, then he'll have her.
This is the book of Ezekiel, chapter 37, verse 9. Then said he unto me, prophesy unto the wind.
Right, prophesy unto the wind, go ahead.
Prophesy, son of man, and say to the wind, thus says the Lord God, come from the four winds, O breath, and breathe upon these slain.
And breathe upon who?
These slain.
And that's what you so-called Negroes and Latinos and you natives are, man. You're the slain, man. Y'all been stomped out by all these other nations, man. Killed, lying dead in the streets. Don't have the sinew back on you. Don't have your flesh. Don't know who you are. Right? Don't know where you come from. Don't know where the promised land is at. And most of all, you forgot how to serve the God of your fathers.
Come on,
That's the valley of the dry bones. We the slain, man. So we came out here to prophesy to the slain, man. That's the job of a watchman, right? Of a servant of the Most High God, Yahweh. Go ahead.
That they may live.
That they may what?
Live.
Because that's the only way you're going to live is if you follow these laws, statutes, and commandments. That's the only way.
Right.
Because you got to live in righteousness, man. You ain't trying to sell your soul, right? And live a life of being wicked, right? Because what benefit if you gain the whole world and lose your soul at the end of the day? You see that? Go ahead.
Verse 10. So I prophesied as commanded me, and the breath came into them, and they lived.
Right, we're prophesying the word comes into you, right? You're able to live it. And what happens after that? Once we come out and reach all the four corners of earth and wake up the elect that still need to be sealed, what happens? Go ahead.
And stood upon their feet, an exceeding great army.
That's right, and that's what we find. We find that eventually we're gonna become this great exceeding army, man. And when I look around, see all the Negroes, Latinos out here, how deep we are. You look across the street, man. This is beautiful right here, man. Hey, Israel's on the rise, man. It's a beautiful thing, man. People starting to wake up and they're starting to see it. That now Israel's a force to be reckoned with, man. They got to deal with us, man. And Lord willing, right, we continue in this, raise our kids up in this, man, until we can finally get out of here, man. Like the brother brought out, they trying to accomplish us by, what was it, 2050? The year 2050? Hopefully we ain't got till 2050. You see that? But we out of here already. But not only do we have to come in here and preach to the dry bones, right? Wake up the lost sheep of the house of Israel. We also got to do what? We got to prophesy the downfall of all these other nations, man, that come against us, man. Go ahead and get that. That was it on that, King? Go ahead and get that.
This is Jeremiah chapter 28, verse 8. The prophets that have been before me and before thee of old prophesied both against many countries.
What did they do?
Prophesied both against many countries.
That's right. We prophesied against these other countries, man. That's also part of being a workman, right? Being a servant of the Most High God. These other nations are against us, man. So we got to prophesy their downfall just like the prophets of old did. Bring that up, right? Standing boldly in the face of our enemies. Go ahead.
And against great kingdoms.
And great kingdoms. Is not America supposed to be one of the greatest kingdoms? Right? Who can mess with America? With their armies, right? With their military. You got a problem with America, guess what? They come over and bomb your nation. Then they set up all their ideologies and all their philosophies and create more abominations. That's what they do. You see that? Prophesy against this nation, you know, just like the Most High raised up Pharaoh, right? And raised up Egypt just so he can show his power when he knocked them down, man. That's what's going to happen to Babylon, aka America. Go ahead.
Of war and of evil.
Right, of war and of evil, what else?
And of pestilence.
What else?
Pestilence.
And of pestilence, man. Because that's what you got, especially with a lot of the Northern Kingdom. You see the Northern Kingdom is locked up in them, I call them concentration camps, but it's the ICE detention centers, right? And you got all types of diseases spreading through there. And who knows? that could be just another practice of Esau, because we know about his weapons of wickedness, right? Just like they came with the tribe of Gad and spread them blankets with the smallpox, right? With that bubonic plague, that black plague, right? Spreading disease to our people. That's how we know we're in the last days. We got the pestilence. We got the rumors of war. Kim Jong-un talking about he ain't talking no more, right? Putin, he's shooting. That's it. There's no more small talk. They over that. So we know we're in the last days, and this is what we should be doing. Waking up the house of Israel, because guess what? We ain't got long left. It says the triumphing of the wicked is short, man. That's right. What the time of the hypocrite for what? But a moment. Roughly paraphrasing. So Israel's on the rise, man. And all these nations know it, man. That's it on that. All these nations know it. That's why it's so controversial. You done seen us. You done seen us. We've been on Fox News, right? What they do? Demonize us. CNN, what they do? Demonize us. Bring that out.
This is the book of Isaiah, chapter 58, verse 9. For it is the day of the Most High vengeance, and the year of recompenses for the controversies of Zion.
For the what?
Controversies of Zion.
That's right. It's controversial what's happened to the nation of Israel, man. You see, and you know what? We were also on InfoWars, man. That's Alex Jones, right? He runs that InfoWars. And they went to the brothers out there, I think, Venice Beach area, right? Went on InfoWars and they demonized us, talking about, oh, here you go, you got these so-called black Israelites, right? When we consist of natives and also Latinos, man. So just that statement's off. But here you go, you got Alex Jones. There's no bigger conspiracy theorist than Alex Jones, right? He's on top of every conspiracy. Talking about they poisoning the water. They got the gay bomb, right? All types of conspiracies. But when it comes to the conspiracy of the so-called white man taking our identity, taking our land, claiming to be Jew, now all of a sudden that's not a conspiracy. See that? That's how much these nations come against us. See that?
What do you do?
And listen, our people need to wake up, man, to what's going on. You gotta get from the top.
This is the book of Isaiah, chapter 38. This is the book of Isaiah, chapter 34, verse 8. For it is the day of the Most High's vengeance, and the year of recompenses for the controversies of Zion.
That's right, and it's going to be a recompense. What is recompense? That means a payback. The Most High is not going to sit down and allow this to happen to his nation, to his children, man. There's got to be a payback for everything that the so-called white man and all these other nations that collaborate did to 12 tribes of Israel, man. They got to get a payback. And Israel's going to know it. Go ahead.
Verse 9.
No, that's it on that. That's it on that. Go ahead, get Lamentations 2:16. Lamentations 2:16. Because we got to prophesy against these other nations, because all they do, man, is work towards our downfall. That's why they got what? These Arabs come in, set up these liquor stores, right? Just another tool to destroy our people, right? You got all these Moabites and Ammonites, these Chinese, right? Come into the restaurants, sell you all types of poison on that pork. Got that pork on the pork, dog, rat, whatever they got up in there. Right, and we got to eat our food defiled amongst the Gentiles, defiled amongst all these nations, man. And they profit off it. See that? All these nations do is walk all over the nation of Israel, man. That's it. Go ahead.
This is the book of Lamentations, chapter 2, verse 16. All thine enemies have opened their mouth against thee.
All our enemies did what?
Opened up their mouth against thee.
That's it, man. All these nations got a term for us, man. You go all the way to Africa, man. They call you Cushy out there. You see that? They got terms and bywords for you, man. All these nations, man. Every single nation. And it says they open their mouth against us. All they do is talk evil against the nation of Israel. Against all you so-called Negroes, Latinos, and natives, man. All they do is speak evil on us. But they're the ones who want to impoverish us. They got documents on it. They want to make us poor, but all we do is make them rich. Don't we work for them in their businesses, in their corporations, in their companies?
That's some real shit.
Increase all their revenue. All we do is make them rich all day long. They talk about, oh, it's all about love, right? You get a lot of the Christians, especially the Christian churches.
It's not love.
It's all about love. Who has had more love than the so-called white men and all you Negroes, Latinos, and natives, man? We have more love, and guess what they got for us? Nothing but hatred. Pure hatred, man. And it's a perpetual hatred. It means it'll never end. But we got to understand that as people, man. That's why the nation of Israel, man, need to come together, man, and wake up. Jacob needs to wake up, man. That's what's going on out here. All these nations do is open their mouth and talk against us. Go ahead.
They hiss and gnash their teeth.
That's right. You ever walk by a so-called white man, right? White lady, what they do? Look at you like you just ain't nothing. Clench their purse. You see what I'm saying? They don't even want you in their area, in their space. You You got some of these crackers in these other nations. Guess what? If you move into their neighborhood, you know what they finna do? If they can't get you out, they gonna
know.
move.
We already know.
They don't even want to be around you. That's how much hatred these nations got against us, man.
We know all that shit already.
You see that? And what happens is we got a psychological problem, right? It's called Stockholm syndrome. When we love our oppressors, man. We love all our enemies, man. But guess who we do hate? We hate our own.
Yep.
That's why you got all these problems going on in the so-called black, so-called Latino, so-called native world. But they've oppressed us, man. Took us down to nothing. All you see is the Negroes, Latinos, and natives. We in the ghettos all across America, man. All across Babylon, man. Living in the ghettos, all the way down to South America, and what they call it, the favelas. We in the worst parts of every community.
Get out, huh?
But we don't want to learn lessons. You see that? We don't want to learn the lesson of who our enemies are and act accordingly. Because like the book of Sirach, what it tell you, never trust thy enemy, man.
Exactly.
That's
Shit like that. I mean,
go ahead.
They say, we have swallowed her up. Certainly, this is the day that we look for.
And that's what they look for, man. They look for the day where they can take us down. How long they been waiting to put a wall up? Build a wall, build a wall. They've been looking for this day.
Black power, nigga.
Where they can keep the so-called Latino, so-called black man, and Haitian man out. They look forward to this day. That's why when they got Trump in that presidency, they said, look, this is it. And Donald Trump talking about the white nationalist isn't on the rise right now. He's the pinnacle of a white nationalist, man. He perpetuates the image of the beast. He perpetuates white supremacy, right? He perpetuates all their ideologies and their philosophies.
Sorry, yeah.
You can see it in every speech he does. You can look at all his tweets, man. And see the racism, the hatred for our people.
Fucking on the G shit. Okay? Fuck Donald Trump.
Go ahead.
We have failed. We have seen it.
That's right, and that's what they're saying. Look, they waited for this day to get someone like Donald Trump in office, man. The ultimate Edomite, so they can perpetuate all this wickedness throughout society, man. He's going to pass all these corrupt laws and legislation to try to make it worse for us, man. You see that? That's why we went down to the border yesterday. The border was on high alert.
That's what we do.
I ain't never seen a line so hard to get in Mexico before. Usually to get in Mexico, it's a straight shot. It's trying to get out. That's where you got the problem. Man, that border was backed up for miles, man. Because they came and breached the borders. Their walls ain't efficient, man. We're too big now. We're a city weight army, and they know it. That's why they know that their time is short. They gotta act fast, man.
Everybody
That's what they
already
gotta
know.
do. That's what I'm at. Go ahead, get that. No, that's go ahead, get that.
Yes, it's the book of Psalms, chapter 35, verse 25.
Hey, the scripture says, lift up thy voice like a trumpet, man.
Hey, bring it out! Chapter 35, verse 25. Let them say not in their heart. When we have it, let them not say, we have swallowed him up.
Right, it says, let them not say in their heart, what?
We have swallowed him up.
Right, it says, let them not say in their heart, that heart. That's mind, man. In their mind, they can't think that we done took all these so-called Negroes, Latinos, and made them down, man. Don't let them think that. Because that's what it said in the previous scripture you just read, right? It's the day we don't look for. When we have swallowed the nation of Israel up, man. But our prayer to the Most High is don't let them be able to say that at the end of the day. Go ahead.
Verse 26. Let them be ashamed and brought to confusion.
That'll be what?
Let them be ashamed and brought to confusion.
And that's what's going to happen to all the council, to all the Edomites, right? Because it tells you in the book of Obadiah, right? It says that all your top members of Edom, right? Your international bankers, right? You ones that run all those Zionist committees, they're going to get brought to a point of confusion, and we're not going to be able to function properly. It says all the knowledge of Edom's going to be eliminated, roughly paraphrasing.
That's right.
See that? Go ahead.
Let them be clothed with shame and dishonor.
And that's right. And eventually you're going to be able to bring this out to the so-called white man or any other nation, whether it's the nation of Israel, and shame's going to cover them. Because right now they're proud and they're devils and they don't think that, you know what I'm saying? That wasn't me, right? That was my ancestors. They don't got no shame, but eventually they're going to get that shame, man. Because as this truth starts to come out, it says that Esau's skirt's going to get lifted up. The so-called white man, the nation of Edom, he's going to be revealed and exposed, man. And that's what's happening. That's what's happening every time you see an Israelite camp on a border. Across every ghetto in Babylon. You're going to see that all we're doing is exposing and lifting up the skirt of Esau, man.
That's right.
That's it on that, right? Go ahead.
This is the book of Psalms, chapter 56, verse 2. Mine enemies would daily swallow me up.
Right, and that's what they do, man. They daily coming up. You can't get a break, man. You go to work, you got to fight hard to keep that little plantation job you got. They constantly trying to get rid of you, constantly trying to make any excuse to terminate whatever contract you got or whatever position you got. It's a daily struggle, man, trying to make these ends meet, pay all these bills. Rent keep going up. Electric, all that keep going up. All they do is come up off the nation of Israel. That's a daily struggle. Go ahead.
For they be many that fight against me, O thou Most High.
And the Most High knows that we got many nations against us, man. Starting chiefly with the ambassador of the heathen so-called white man, right? But then all these other nations that follow along and fall in line with him. That's it. Hey, what you say, Cracker? Get out of here, huh? Hey, look, you know what a two-time loser is? It's the devil.
Yes,
Head start. You had a 400-year head start. And that's where you at? That's what you call a two-time loser. See that?
That part.
That's why the scripture says they're going to be brought low. It says, look at the proud man and bring them low. Here she is, a two-time loser. Still going to try to curse me out, so.
This is the best part.
As she go back to her box. Go ahead, King.
What time I am afraid, I will trust in thee.
That's right. And the times that we become afraid, right, when that fear comes upon us, we know at the end of the day, all we can do is put our trust in the Most High, man.
Exactly.
And not put our trust in these other nations, man. Because that's what made us go off, man. Our trust in these other nations. Matter of fact, you know what that scripture is at? Where it says, have we trusted the Christians most of all? There you go. Right. Since you trust in the Christians most of all. The glory of the Christians, yeah, find that. Let you know where it's at. Go ahead. I think it's Matthew, something like that.
In God, I will praise his word. In God, I have put my trust.
That's right, and it's the Most High Yahweh we put our trust, man. That's where our trust is in the Most High. You better second Maccabees, what is it?
Second Maccabees 4 and 15.
Someone get that real quick. Second Maccabees 4 and 15. Because that's what we do. We're supposed to put our trust in the Most High God, right? It's the God of Israel, man. The God of our forefathers. But we trust in these other nations, man.
Yes.
And that has led to our downfall. Why? We start to worship their gods, their idols, got to ideology, stop following these laws, statutes, commandments, and went from being a nation that's supposed to be above every other nation on the face of this planet, right, to below every nation, man. We're at the bottom of Sodom right now. And it started with not trusting God anymore and trusting these other nations, man. You found it? Go ahead, King, bring that out.
This is 2 Maccabees, chapter 4, verse 15. Not setting by the honors of their fathers, but liking the glory of the Grecians best of all.
Right. And you see that? Read that last part again, but doing what?
Liking the glory of the Grecians best of all.
Liking the glory of the Grecians. We know what the Grecians are, right? The original ones were Japhetic, but the modern day Grecians, those are white people, man. And we take their glories and we like that. Everything the white man does, you want to do. You see that? And in order to accomplish what the white man has gained, guess what he had to do? He had to rob, kill, and steal. I'm lying? So you have to adopt those same principles if you want to try to succeed the same way this devil has. That's what you got to do. But we're not supposed to live like that. We're supposed to have decorum, man. We're supposed to have morals, man. Live by law, statutes, and commandments and decrees, man. That's how we live. We don't want to live like a bastard either, man. That's it on that.
This is the book of Psalms, chapter 56, verse 4. In God, I will praise his word. In God, I have put my trust.
That's right.
I will not fear what flesh can do unto me.
Right, don't fear what flesh can do to you, man. Because at the end of the day, we're scared what the devil might do to us. To tell you in the book of Revelation, what 10, it says, fear none of those things, man. What the devil might do to you. Throw you in jail, right? Try to sentence you or put you to death. When all hell breaks loose in these streets and martial law starts and they put you in a concentration camp, guess what? You gotta endure unto the end. Then you're gonna see salvation, man. Because you ain't saved yet. Contrary to popular belief in every Christian church, you ain't saved yet, man.
That's right.
All types of hell is gonna happen. Nothing but Jacob's trouble is on the way, man.
Yep.
The brother brought out the article, man, how they trying to impoverish us. What happens when you get impoverished, man? Then you can't afford to pay your bills. Then what? You have no house. You can't afford to feed your kids. Then you start to starve. These are all weapons and tactics of war, man. And that's the type of trouble we're going to see. And it goes with prophecy because they have to implement what's called the mark of the beast, right? They got to implement this thing right here. Time's running out, so they got to implement the mark of the beast. See that? You ain't gonna be able to eat, right? You ain't gonna be able to make a purchase, sell anything that you receive this, man. And they're trying to get you ready for that. So everything you see, all this technology is precursors for this. That's all it is. All right. That's it on that, King? Go ahead and get that. Psalms,
This is the book of Psalms, chapter 55, verse 15 to 18. Let death seize upon them, and let them go down quick into hell.
That's right, say it again.
Let death seize upon them.
Let death seize upon them and let them what?
And let them go down quick into hell.
That's right, man. And that's going to happen when all these other nations, right, like Russia, Iran, right, North Korea, when they collaborate and come together to shoot missiles in this place, this whole nation's going to be turned to a lake of fire, man.
That's right.
That's hell, according to the Bible. Go ahead. But like this brother's bringing out, what it is not only is the so-called white man, right, the ambassador heathen, and all these other nations, right, going to go into that lake of fire, but also 2/3 of our people, man. Only the 1/3 chosen are going to be brought through that fire, according to the prophecy in Zechariah, man. Go ahead.
For wickedness is in their dwellings.
For wickedness is what?
In their dwellings.
It says wickedness is in their dwellings. Wherever you see the so-called white man goes, nothing but corruption. Right? Nothing but wickedness. Nothing but evil. We can't make this up. That coincides with the Bible perfectly. It says there's nothing but wickedness in their dwellings, man. Even if you just look at the so-called white man's track record, it identifies him perfectly who he is according to the Bible. And what is that? The so-called white man is what? The devil that the Bible speaks of. And we can't say it enough, man. We got to perpetuate and push this out. Push this out to every community across, every community that we're in. Because our people look at him like the savior, man. You see that image that Caesar Borgia, man, second son of Pope Alexander? We look at him like he's the savior, man. But that's the devil. Go ahead.
As for me, I will call upon God.
That's right, man. You got to stand upon the power of the Abba Yahweh, man. Because at the end of the day, that's all that's going to bring you in. All y'all been through the struggle, where you sit back and you look at whatever adversity you got to go through. You look at whatever problems you got and what you say. You say, man, I don't know how I'm going to get through this. God only knows. At the end of the day, that's all the nation of Israel owes God. And that's why it says, when the Most High is with us, who can be against us? When the Most High was with us, every nation who went and fought against us came out successful. When the Most High turned his face right, he turned his face against the nation of Israel, he fell, we went into captivity, right? Became impoverished. All types of hell happened to us. But when the Most High is with us, guess what, man? It's a wrap. We're going to be on top of it. Go ahead, that's it on that.
This is the book of Psalms, chapter 103, verse 4. Who redeemeth my life? Who redeemeth thy life from destruction? Who crowneth thee with loving kindness and tender mercy?
Read again.
This is the book of Psalms, chapter 103, verse 4. Who redeemeth thy life?
Right, who redeemeth thy life? We've never been redeemed, right? When you go to the curses of Deuteronomy, right, 28 and 68, when it says we be sold unto our enemies and no man shall redeem you, that's till this day, man. No one has, it says no man shall buy you, right? But that word buy, we know means redeem. The only one that's going to redeem us is the Most High, man. That's it. That's our Redeemer, man. Nobody else, man. Nobody else. When they had all types of movements, the Panthers, right? You didn't have these movements. None of them was able to do it, man. It's only going to be on the power and the mercy of the Most High to bring us about it. Hey, and Lord willing, this day we see soon. Go ahead.
From destruction.
Right? And He's the one that's going to bring us to destruction. Because let's be real. We ain't got no economic power. We ain't got no resources. Right? They done had hundreds and hundreds of years of a head start above us. You so-called Negroes, Latinos, and you natives, y'all should be destroyed, man. We should have seen destruction a long time ago. We know it's only through the grace and the mercy, man, of the Most High, through His Son, the Hamashiach Yahweh Shai, man, that's kept us here. We should have been gone, wiped out. Go ahead.
Who crowneth thee with loving kindness and tender mercy?
That's right. That's right. But guess what? It's going to come a time where, guess what? The so-called white man's going to pay for everything he did. When the scripture says, well, you reap what you sow, right? You reap what you sow.
Bring it out.
Even if you don't believe in this Bible, just pure karma, man. What goes around comes around.
God.
He's going to get a righteous judgment from on high, man. We ain't going to no longer be working for these devils, man, these other nations, man. They're going to work for us, man. Our women ain't going to be watching their kids, man. They're going to watch our kids, man. All their kings and queens, they're going to bow to us, man. That's in the scripture. That's biblical. Go ahead.
This is the book of Psalms, chapter 60, verse 14. The sons also of them that afflicted thee.
Right, notice it says the sons of them that afflicted thee. Because a lot of these other nations, man, especially so-called white men, tries to get at it by saying, well, I didn't do it to y'all. That wasn't me. Right, might have been my ancestors, but it wasn't me. But the scripture just said the what? The what?
The sons also of them that afflicted thee.
Notice it says the sons of them. So guess what? That's going to get passed down. They got to pick up that tab. Go ahead.
Shall come bending unto thee, and all they that despise thee.
Right, and all they that despise you. You got to show me a nation that don't despise you, so-called Negroes, Latinos, and you natives, man. You got to show me a nation. That's everybody. Go ahead.
Shall bow themselves down at the soles of thy feet.
Right, they're going to have to bow down at the soles of our feet. During slavery, guess what? If you're so-called Negro, Latino, you could have looked the so-called white man in the eye, man. You could have looked at the ground, man.
Bring it out.
You had to bow down to them. Guess what? They're going to bow down to you, man.
God.
This is a future prophecy. That ain't happening yet, man. But guess what? It's on the way. Go ahead.
And they shall call thee the city of Yahweh.
That's right, man. Right now, they don't call us that. They don't believe it. Everything's a conspiracy. It's doing stuff for us they ain't got. See that? That can't be true. That can't be real. But they're going to know that we the house. They're going to know that we the house of Israel, man. They're going to know it. Go ahead.
The Zion of the Holy One of Israel.
That's right, man. We the daughter of Zion, man. We the Israelites, man. That's us.
God.
Those fake Khazarian rap bastards, man, that stole our land over there.
Bring it out.
We the Jews, man. Go ahead.
Verse 15. Whereas thou hast been forsaken and hated.
Right, and we've been, what has the Negro, Latino, and Native been?
Forsaken and hated.
No, we've been loved.
Hated.
No, we've been pushed up to on a high pedestal.
Hated.
We've been forsaken and hated, man. That's talking about us. Who else? Go ahead.
So that no man went through thee. So that no man went through thee. I will make thee an eternal excellency.
Right, man, we're going to be excellent. Go ahead.
A joy of many generations.
That's right, and we're going to have a joy of many generations. Because what we need to come back is to a rulership mentality. What that brother said earlier, he didn't want servants, right? He didn't want handmaidens. Because that's been stripped from us, man. We're supposed to be having a rulership mentality, man. We royalty.
God.
You got to start thinking like it and acting like it, man. Go ahead.
Verse 16. Thou shalt also suck the milk of the Gentiles.
That's right, man. We gonna come up on their riches, man. Boast ourselves in their riches. Go ahead. Just like they did to us, man. They impoverished us. We gonna impoverish them. Go ahead.
And shall suck the breast of kings.
That's right, man. All the riches you see that they stole from us, we gonna get that back. Tells you that in the book of Job that we'll get all that silver, all that gold they took coming back. Go ahead.
And thou shalt know that I, Yahweh, am thy Savior and thy Redeemer, the mighty one of Jacob.
And when we say call on Yahweh, for that, man. That's going to be the one to redeem us. He's going to be our Savior. He's going to restore us. That's it on that. Go ahead, get that.
This is the book of Psalms, chapter 109, verse 1. Hold not thy peace, O God, my praise.
Right, we say this is a prayer, man, of the nation of Israel, man. We don't want the Most High to sit still, man. Like in Psalms 83, what it says is sit still, sit not still, right? Oh, Yahweh. Because all these nations come against us, man. Don't just sit still. Take action. Get active. Go ahead.
For the mouth of the wicked and the mouth of the deceitful are opened against you.
That's right, man. We know who the wicked and we know who the deceitful are. That's why we call them devils, right? Because that word devil comes from diablo, which just means deceiver, man. And that's all they do is talk, open their mouth and speak lies and deceit about us, about our people, man. Go ahead.
They have spoken against me with a lying tongue.
With the what?
Lying tongue.
With a lying tongue. Go ahead.
They compass me about also with words of hatred.
That's right. And when they walk by you, they got nothing but words of hate for you. Go ahead.
and fought against me without a cause.
And fought what?
Against me without a cause.
They came to West Africa, what did we do to them? Nothing, and they fought against us without a cause. They came here to the shores of America, came against the Seminole, right, and Native American Indians, and fought against them what? Without a cause. Go ahead.
For my love, they are my adversaries.
Go ahead.
But I give myself under prayer.
That's right. That's why it says that's why you got to be always praying, man. Stay in prayer, because that's going to help you endure. Meditate on these laws, statutes, commandments day and night. Go ahead.
They have rewarded me evil for good.
They did what?
Rewarded me evil for good.
And that's why this walk is hard for a lot of people, because you be like, man, I'm up here trying to live right up on these laws, statutes, commandments, and I'm still catching hell out here. Everything I do that's good, all I get is evil for it. You see that? But you gotta endure on to the end, man. Keep pushing. Because guess what? We almost there. We almost to the finish line. Go ahead.
And hatred for my love.
Go ahead.
Set down a wicked man over him. And
Look, it says set a wicked man over him. Because that's what we got in this nation. They tell you what, you're American, so Donald Trump must be your president, and this is a wicked man that's set over us. You see that? A straight plain racist, he don't hide. What they call like a straight shooter. He gonna tell you like it is. And he's set above over us. And it even tells you, it says when the wicked are set in a high place, right? The people mourn him, right? From paraphrasing. And that's what you see everyone doing in America when they mourn him. They hate, and they hate every time you come and do something. Instead of legislation or pass some type of law, they hate it. Because it's the wicked that's in rulership right now. It's the wicked that's in power. The earth is given to the hand of the wicked, according to the book of Job 9:24. So he's running it. And that's what we're asking. Our prayers like, look, set a wicked man over him, man. So they can go through what we went through. Go ahead.
And let Satan stand at his right hand.
Go ahead. Go on.
When he shall be judged, let him be condemned.
It says when he shall be judged, let him be condemned. Go ahead.
And let his prayer become sin.
That's right, let his prayer become sin. We already know his prayer is abomination, man. The Most High is not hearing it. All the prayers from these other hills, these other nations, Most High don't hear none of that. Go ahead.
Let his days be few, and let another take his office.
That's right, man. Let another what?
Let another take his office.
And that's what's going to happen, right? In the book of Ezra, it tells you that Esau is what? The end of the world, right? And Jacob is the beginning of it that followeth, man. We're going to take this office of rulership, right? That's where we're going to be at, man. The roles are going to reverse, man. The tables are going to turn, man. Go ahead.
Let his children be fatherless, and his wife a widow.
It says, hey, do what?
Let his children be fatherless.
Because what? Our families are fatherless. Why? Fall into street crimes, right? Fall into dope.
God!
Right? And who put these dope in the streets? We know it was the so-called CIA, man. CIA is there for what? Criminals in action, man. They used to work with the Nicaraguan army, fight Freeway, Ricky Ross, all them, bring these dope into our communities. So what you have is a generation of people, what they call it in the 80s, right? A lot of crack babies in the 80s, man. And it messed up our dope, and it messed up the so-called Negro, Latino, and Native home, man. So it became father. One's got no dope, became mother. You know what I mean? What?
Let his children be fatherless.
Let his children be fatherless, man. Go ahead.
And his wife a widow.
You see that? His wife a widow. How many funeral sisters had to go to? Lost their men to gun violence, fight to crimes in the streets. See that? They don't suffer that, man. They live in old ages, sitting in a porch of their summer house in that rocking chair, man. We don't got to deal with none of that. Well, we got RIP shirts. You got murals on the side of your car and on your trunk. That's right. Your back window. Everyone that's been killed and murdered, destroyed out in these streets, man. Let the so-called white men and all these other nations have to deal with that, man. Go ahead.
Let his children be continually vagabonds and beg. Let them seek their bread also.
It says let them be vagabonds, man. That's what we seen with this whole cracker that walked by. You see that? Back in the day, you didn't really see them oppressed like that. Even though we know when Satan's divided against Satan, the kingdom can't fall. So they're against each other anyway, right? So-called white men against each other anyway. But you see right now, in this day, man, so-called white man is a vagabond, man, wandering around. 400-year head start is still just a little time, man. Go ahead.
Let them seek their bread also out of their desolate places.
It says let them do what?
Seek their bread also out of their desolate places.
And that's what we do, man. We be trying to seek bread out of desolate places, man. You be in a community or a neighborhood, there's no resources, no opportunities. You try to come up, or you ain't got no way, you ain't even got a way to come up. That's why a lot of us to try to get jobs in plantations, you gotta go far from where you live at. You see what I'm saying? You gotta travel 30 minutes to an hour just to get work. You gotta come back, do all that just to put food on the table, man. They gonna have to do that. They gonna have to try to seek their bread out of desolate places, man. Go ahead.
Let the extortioners catch all that he has.
Let the what?
Let the extortioners.
Let the extortioner. There's no bigger extortioner than the so-called white man. Did all them treaties with the natives, right? Over 300 treaties, broke everyone. You see that? Every time he do a deal with you, there's fine print. He's the biggest extortioner, man. Go ahead.
Catch all that he has.
Let him catch that same hell that he's trying to put out on you. Go ahead.
And let the stranger spoil his labor.
Right, and let the stranger spoil his labor, man. Because that's all we've had. We had strangers that came here and took our inheritance, took our land. They came here and stole the land and the man. You see that? Strangers did this. Go ahead.
Let there be none to extend mercy unto him.
It says let there be what?
None to extend mercy unto him.
Why? Because that's happened to us, man. Don't nobody have mercy for you so-called Negroes, Latinos, and natives, man.
That's right.
No mercy, man. We done caught hell, been through slavery, been murdered, psychologically brought down to a low estate. Nobody has mercy on us, man. They look at you like you just ain't working hard enough. You know that's a lie. Don't nobody work harder than you got. You got the tribe of Benjamin, right? Your so-called West Indians, Jamaicans, got like 8 jobs, 8 hustles. Work hard. Nobody work harder than the so-called Mexicanos. Issachar, man, says they're serving on the tribute. According to Genesis 49, they work harder than anybody, man. So it's not us not working hard enough. It's not us trying to commit ourselves and put ourselves and really work to our full potential. It's a part of the curses, man. The curses that the Most High brought upon us. Why? Because we strayed away from the law, statutes, and commandments, man. But they don't have no mercy for that. Go ahead.
Neither let there be any to favor his fatherless children.
Right? Let there be what?
Let there be any to favor his fatherless children.
That's right, man. Because you see, they favor our children. You got gay white couples adopting our children. You see that? But in that day, man, they're gonna be like a dog in a kennel that you can't give up for adoption, man. You see that? That's how they're gonna be their children, man. No one to pick them up, right?
Let his posterity be cut off.
Let his prosperity be cut off, because that's all they're living. They're living a real prosperous lifestyle right now. So-called white men in all these nations. This says let it be cut off. This says let it be cut off. Last precept, go ahead.
And in the generation following, let their name be blotted out.
And in the generation following, let what?
Let their name be blotted out.
And we know that goes to a prophecy right in Obadiah. I think it's 1:18, right? The so-called white man, he's going to be blotted out, man. Exterminated, eradicated off the face of this planet Earth, man.
That's right.
We gotta give all praises called Allah Yahweh. By Shema Mashiach Yahweh, try for that, man.
God!